Donna, welcome to Empower Network TV. Very
Hi,
excited.
thank you for having me.
Oh, well, it's my pleasure. And we're just chatting about how your girlfriend was interviewed a few days ago. She's so fun. And do you want to give her a shout out? Tell everyone who it is.
Yes, Yasmin Gulza. Hi, Yasmin.
Hey, Yasmin. I was just telling
She's
Yasmin, I was telling
awesome.
Donna how much we both just love the way you're just like this creative ball of energy that's like a child at heart. It's beautiful. So Donna,
Yeah.
thank you for accepting her invite to join. And for those that don't know you yet, Donna, let's get into a bit of what you do, and then I would love to, after we tell them what you do, get into the story so we hear your heart of why you do this, because you do some important work. So please, how would you like to start off?
So I run a social enterprise in Wales, and it's kind of grounded and supported by the Anti-Racism Action Plan that Welsh Government's introduced in 2021. So yeah, we're kind of looking at business, media, and education, and trying to fill those gaps with more black and brown faces. So yeah.
I have never traveled to Wales. My background is all from that area: English,
Mhm.
Ireland, England, Scotland. What is the demographics like in that those two islands? What's it like?
Yeah, so Wales is very, very diverse, I would say. And we're known as the nation of sanctuary. So we have a lot of migrating people here. My family are definitely from that kind of community as well. Yeah, we're very, I don't like the word tolerance. People always use that term as if, they're putting up with us. But we are that kind of nation. And gladly, we've introduced the Anti-Racism Action Plan, which I think is the first in the world, actually. We're very progressive and moving forward. And yeah, it's a really exciting time.
Your country has been through, like, the last 3 years, especially the amount of, wow, just on the news. I'm sure we don't see half of it, but what I've seen even on the news is like, wow, there's a major shift going on. Can you speak to that? What is you know, what's the pulse like in, yeah.
Yeah, well, we've just after the George Floyd murder, um, Cardiff really kind of stood up and protest and did everything that everybody was doing around the world. But we're such a small nation. We were the second largest protest in the UK besides London. And really, I think it was about the allyship. We had so many allies that come out that Welsh Government really stood up and created this action plan. It is a plan, it's an aspiration, so it's not kind of legal, it's not grounded in legislation as such, but it's a start. And I think it's a really good start. It was introduced in 2021, as I said. So there's lots of organisations shifting their work now to make sure it's more inclusive. I don't really like that term, to be honest. But yeah, there's a lot of work going on, and it's decolonizing and dismantling the current systems we have here in Wales.
I
And
always Go ahead, sorry.
yesterday we had our first person of colour who is now the First Minister of Wales. So we're really excited.
That's wonderful. I always
Yeah.
find it interesting when people push back and they say, well, we were here first. At least
Mm,
in North America, we came and stole the land from the people living here. So,
yeah.
is anyone there first? Like, aren't we all kind of,
Yeah, I mean, gosh, when we talk about this kind of stuff, especially in Wales, we're very proud. We're a very proud nation. And I believe that anyone who lives in Wales can be Welsh. I don't think it's to do with your DNA as such. I think it's that kind of vibe that we have here. I'm very proud to be Welsh, but I'm also so many other things as well, because of the migration. But yeah, I think that being Welsh is a choice. And a lot of people embrace that and they're very proud of that. But in terms of who was here first, the history of Wales um, is quite difficult because we had the invasion by the English and we had the invasion by the Vikings as well. I mean, they probably did that all over the world. But we also know there's a deep history of people from Africa that moved here. We know that as far as I'm concerned, I think we all came from Africa and we just migrated and we adapted to our environments. And that's why we've got different colors, skin and hair and eyes and all of that. Um, but essentially, we all share the same kind of DNA.
yeah. And aren't we all just kind of sharing the same big planet? like and breathing the
Absolutely.
same big pool of air and water.
Yeah, yeah. I think when we understand that we're more connected than we realize, and all of these divides that have been created were just systematically done to create wealth, and create a system. So yeah, absolutely. At the very essence of who we are as human beings, we all want the same thing. We all want to be loved, be a part of something, and just connect with others. And I think, unfortunately, as we evolved as people we started to divide and conquer, which is really sad.
Okay, I'm really curious about your story, and I know zero of your story. You just alluded to. So, where does your childhood begin? Where did you start out in this beautiful planet?
Oh, wow. So I'm from a place called, well, from Wales, from Cardiff. And very, very complex. Oh my God, we'll be here all day. But my father's American, so my father's African American, as you would call them. And my he met my mother here in Cardiff, and my mother's background's Italian, Maltese, and Arabic. So yeah, my father's from Bangladesh. So very mixed, very mixed. And I think I love that about me. I love that about us, that we're
Yeah.
so many different things. And I just call myself global. So I was raised in a place called Lamrimney, which is an area just outside of the city centre, about 30 minutes away. I moved out there when I was 18 and moved to Grangetown. And Grangetown's an area that's very diverse, and I loved living there because I felt at home and you can come out your front door and see lots of different people. And it was just a really nice community to be in. So I live down Butetown now, which is the old Tiger Bay, which is just 5 minutes from Grangetown. And my business is here and I live here as well. And I love being here because this is where my family started. So.
I love what you said about being global because really,
Yes.
I never understood racism. To me, it's the stupidest
It's
thing on the planet.
stupid.
It's so
Yeah, it
fucking stupid.
absolutely
It's
is.
like whether we're pasty white like me, because I'm pasty white, or yellow, brown, green, whatever, or black. It's
Yeah,
like we're all the same on the inside. It's just
yeah.
okay. So you
It is.
carry this heart. Where did you get that from? What did your parents instill in you?
I would say that Bob Marley instilled it in me. I know it sounds really dark. Yeah, my stepfather was absolutely obsessed with Bob Marley. So it was, he was very present in our home. Even in the decorations, we had pictures of him all over the house. And yeah, so I grew up listening to his words. And I think that's where that kind of sense of responsibility and justice comes from. And Bob talked a lot about just togetherness and unity. And I think that was kind of the foundation of my understanding. And then I experienced a bit of racism when I was well, not a bit, quite a lot when I was younger, in school, particularly, and around the area I lived in there were a couple of incidents. And more recently, in my older life, I've experienced racism, and it was horrendous. And that was through being married to a white male, and his mum not wanting Asian blood in her family, and we ended up having a divorce, which was devastating. So and that was only 10 years ago. So it's very recent and very current. But yeah, and then I think that sense of justice, and then having two daughters and raising them to not, I didn't want them to be a tick box, and I didn't want them to be a narrative. They're human beings, and I wanted them to be seen as human beings, not for the color of their skin or their environment, or where they were brought up and how they were brought up. So I think I've always carried this sense of justice. I think I was a truth teller when I was a child. I was always seeking the truth and always standing up for others, and I think that's where it comes from. Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you for standing up. And can you speak to the power of music? You mentioned Bob Marley, who was like
Yeah.
almost like a prophet preacher,
Profits. Yeah,
right? Can
absolutely.
you
Yeah.
please speak to the power of that?
Sure. I think music is very powerful. Sorry, my leg is numb. I'm just going to put my leg up. I think music can be it's a powerful way of reaching people. And Bob Marley was so good at bringing everyone together. His music just spoke of what we all wanted, like I said in the beginning. And I think in the very essence of our humanity, we want to be seen and we want to be connected with others. And I think Bob music did that very, very well. And he's still doing it today, even though he's not here 40 odd years later. Yeah.
Where do you see the planet? Do you see the planet ascending or descending? Where do you feel we're going?
Oh gosh, it feels, I think sometimes the media can be very good at creating crisis. There's always a crisis, there's the COVID crisis and the cost of living crisis. And I think they do that to keep themselves going. I think they have to have drama, So I think fundamentally, if we didn't have the media, obviously we wouldn't know what was going on in other parts of the world. So they're powerful in some ways, but they're very destructive in another. And I think often, if we look back, I mean, I came across something on TikTok a few months ago, and it was these children in the 60s talking about the climate change. And it was as if they were talking about today. So we've always had this catastrophe moment, and I think we kind of play on that a lot. And I think actually we don't give the planet enough credit that it can heal itself. And I think that it's designed that way. I think we can distract, yes, but I do feel we need to give Mother Nature a little bit more credit in the sense that it's been here for a very long time. I think humans think they're so powerful that we can destruct something that was here way before we even were. So I think that sometimes we can create catastrophes. It makes money. Keeping catastrophe, it keeps people in their place. I do think that we're distracting a little bit, but I think more on a human level. We only have to look at Palestine now and see what's going over in Gaza. And that's destructive in itself. Killing people on an inhumane level like that is just so, so destructive. So, in that sense, I think we're destructing ourselves as human beings. Yeah.
I love what you said there. Like, if every animal can heal itself, every tree, every plant, every human, well, why can't the
Yeah.
planet?
Absolutely.
The
Yeah. And I
ocean,
think
the
we can,
oceans can clean themselves, right? The oceans can clean themselves. So that's
yeah.
a really fascinating point you just.
Hmm. I think we do underestimate, the globe and the Earth and the planet. And I think we've been given everything that we need. And I think just human beings are natural kinds of migrators, natural evolvers, and they want to discover. And I think we think that we created everything, but actually it was already here, particularly around medicine. I think we've been given every plant and seed and, grain, and it's there for our purpose, whether it's for food or for healing. But man has to conquer, don't they? They have to go, we're going to invent this.
So do you see the planet as ascending or both, descending? Do you feel there's a shift? Do you feel there's a separation that's taking place?
Separation from,
Well, like a consciousness of,
oh, yes, definitely.
yeah.
I absolutely do. And I love it. I used to be a Christian and I suddenly became a believer in God and Jesus. And I was very, very involved in the church. And I think that what we needed as human beings is that we needed to connect to God or to the planet or to the universe. And in order for us to do so, we had to create stories and personify what we can't see. And I think what's happening now is that we're evolving a lot more and see and understanding that actually the power's within us. And if we work collectively with the universe, like with Yasmin and her imagination, I think it's very possible that we create our own being and we create our own kind of miracles. So I think there's a real shift from the structures of church, religion. I love the Muslim faith. I think the Muslim faith is beautiful. It doesn't have a person. It has Allah, obviously, but it has a very different connotation. It's about collectiveness, and I love that. And they see Allah as a prophet and God. Allah being God, and there's no kind of prophet. It's not personified. Do you see what I mean? So I love that faith. I think it's a beautiful faith, and I see there's a huge. I think not just because of Gaza, but I just generally see a real increase in the Muslim faith, which is beautiful. I think we all need faith.
I find it fascinating when you look at those stories. If they're not taking to an extreme, they're basically
Yeah,
saying it is possible that you're meant for more. It's possible that you have a purpose and that you can, some would say ascend or evolve or fill in the blank. I remember
yeah,
I was raised Christian and talking to my friends who are Christian going, yeah, but if you got to be saved to get in God's good books,
yeah,
or Jesus died and rose again, all these people apparently, if the scriptures are true, were healed, and he hadn't died and gone to the cross yet. So, and he healed them almost always saying, "Be it unto you according to your faith." Well, if so, like, what is the power of humans' faith? What is the power, as you said, for the planet to heal, for people to heal?
absolutely.
What are we
Yeah.
capable of?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as you said, the consciousness is that people are, have a kind of an ability to see that through manifestation. I'm hearing a lot about manifestation and visualization. And essentially, that is kind of a faith, isn't it? It's like that self-belief that things can be created, and when going back to being a Christian, when we believe that, when we pray and we believe that two or more are gathered, things happen. And I generally believe that. I don't think that, I just think we're shifting away from this formal religious kind of structures. And I think we're just embracing our own power, and connecting with the universe on a different level, which I think is really great. Yeah.
I would say we're graduating. That's my verbiage. I
Yes.
think we're graduating. Okay,
Yeah.
people are going to want to connect with you. Do you want to, how would you like them to connect? Can they, should they connect with you? Where are you at with that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my work is all about anti-racism, as I said, and I came into this work from a place of experience, and obviously when George Floyd happened, and I really think that it's all about language and it's about words, and I think words are very, very powerful. When we talk about racism, I think we need to bring everybody on a journey and understand that actually racism is stolen from all of us in lots of ways. That connection with other people and having a richer and a diverse history and reality, the things that people of color have produced around the world and created and been a part of, um, is phenomenal and is often overlooked. And I think there's so much that we need to learn about each other that will break down these barriers. And I don't like the word inclusion. I always talk about infusion because I think yes, it's that everyone does that when I say that. But yeah, inclusion to me says that, we're inviting you to the party and we can uninvite you if we want to. It doesn't feel good to me when I think about inclusion. I've won, Be Excellence and the people that I work with, the amazing people I work with, I've collaborated with over 50 people in the last 3 years, which has been amazing. And collectively, we've won 2 awards now for diversity and inclusion. And we won another one recently this year. I'm really, really proud of that because it's keeping this conversation on the table. It's not about awards, it's not about patting yourself on the back. It's about keeping this conversation going, and it's very important that we do that. Infusion to me says that one thing can't exist without the other. And by being together and those two things infusing makes a stronger Wales or a stronger planet. So, yeah, I don't like inclusion at all.
Well, I
So,
know that in cooking, if I could choose between garlic infused olive oil or olive oil, I'll take garlic infused olive oil all day long.
absolutely. There you go.
So can we just say the whole race thing? It's like if I've looked into not the depths, but a bit of the science of all the pros of infusing, we get better genetics because your immune system
Absolutely.
is better. Like if
Hmm.
you all are all whiteys coming from some Anglo-Saxon thing, your immune system is not as good as if you're more right inter
Yeah.
whatever what's the word bred, whatever the word is, we're better,
Yeah.
we're more powerful when we're, that's
Absolutely.
why I don't know, the best looking people on the planet are usually like cross, they're the most handsome, they're the most pretty. So it's like maybe their immune system, maybe they're the smartest too. I don't know.
Oh, well, you never know.
Never know.
But yeah, if people want to connect with me, they can do so through my Facebook, or I've got a Be Excellence Facebook and also a website. But if you're interested in learning more about what's going on in Wales around this work, anti-racism work, please connect with me. I'd love to connect with you and see what you're doing in your country or your city. But yeah, Wales is really embracing this progress, and it's an exciting time, I think. I love what I do, absolutely love it.
Can you drop your links in the after I tag you, please, so that'd be awesome. Thank you for
Sure.
being here. Would love to get you on our networking events. As I said, I've already mentioned you in the comments. If you have enjoyed listening to Donna, is it Donna Ali? Is that how you pronounce it or no? Is that
Yes,
yes?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
cool. Please connect with her ENTV. She'd love to connect with you. As you could see, she's just a bright light that is holding up
Thank you.
in the darkness. So that's wonderful.
No,
Thank you
thank you,
for
Amos.
being,
That's really
oh,
sweet.
my pleasure. You have a wonderful countenance and energy about you. So way to
Thank
go,
you.
standing up, speaking up. Proud of you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Nice to meet
Okay.
you. Take care.
Nice to meet you too. We'll end it here.